I have never done a review like this before. Here's what I mean. The gun is completely broken. It will not work as you see it on table. It is locked up. I mean, hard locked up. We busted it. And yet I love this gun. I was thinking about repairing it, sending it back, waiting 2 months, then doing the tabletop review, but nah, too long. I'm going to review it now. And believe it or not, it is a positive review on the SCR Raider carbine. Stands for Sport Configurable Rifle, SCR. The thing is pretty excellent, though it's broken on table. I know. I mean, it is hard broke by Sean and I. What happened, man? What happened? What? Never seen this before in TMP. I know, it's going to be the first review of its kind. For sure. First things first, though, a little house cleaning. The watch for the review is the beloved Casio EQB 800 smartwatch. Syncs with an app on your phone. And man, is this a cool watch. Oh, yeah. We'll get to the gun, then I've got my wrist computer over here. Super cool hats at nutnfancybigcartel.com. There is a discount code out there if you search it out. I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video. You've got to go watch all the videos. It's in 2 videos. I talk about it. If you're a Patreon member, you know what it is. I posted there. Thanks to my Patreon members, by the way. You guys are awesome. Join TMP Patreon. It's the reason the flow keeps going the way it keeps going. At least on Patreon. Maybe 1-2 videos a week is all the viewers are really watching on the A channel, and that's their choice, but I'm posting pretty fast on Patreon. Go over there, bounce in $1 to $5 a month. Some pay more, but cheap price, lots of value. And check out my music videos on TMP Patreon. Posting soon. I don't know when this video will post. It's going to be called Lost Generation. Goo Goo Dolls. Lost Generation. I think you will like that music video. It is heartfelt. It is a tribute to World War II veterans. Check it out. Check it out. I too am a veteran. There's my squadron coin. By the way, this is my squadron scarf in the back. The 97th ARS, Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington State. Love my time there, but man, was I on the road a lot.
And it took a lot of time.
Whew, lots of deploying. You military members know exactly what I'm talking about. Psycho 7-inch blade. Really awesome. This is a Skyline XL available at Blade HQ. I think it's like 29 bucks too. This thing's totally worth it. 8CR 13 MOV, Glock 34. Ooh, Bradley fighting vehicle, 1/72nd scale. Sick. Enough said. Back to the SCR. Yeah, I broke it. I cannot even retract the charging handle. I mean, this thing is locked up. We were shooting it and didn't extract. Not the first time we've seen that out in the desert, for sure. We've had problems out there. And by the way, it was brass ammunition, not steel cased. Brass ammo of unknown origin. I'm not sure where the ammo came from. It's shooting out of a lot in a bag. Not reloads, commercially purchased, as far as I know. Locks up. Cannot open it up. Cannot open it up. So I do my standard stuff, you know? Just trying to, you know, I'll show some video of it, you know, of us trying to open the charging handle on this SCR, you know? Pile driving does not work. Does not work. Then I happen to have a cleaning rod. Sean's cleaning rod, actually. He brought his out, so we hammered it, you know, trying to open it up. We broke the cleaning rod. Okay, that didn't work. Then I used a steel rod. That didn't work. The gun is locked up. So, SCR, I'm not sure what we're going to do with this gun. I don't know. I think it's, I know it's on an empty casing, so it's not a live round in there. Can't get it open at all. I've taken the gun completely apart. I might have some photos of that if I find it. If not, just take my word. Looked at things. I think the bolt lugs are still engaged into the barrel. Into the extension of the barrel. I think it feels like that. And I cannot get it unlocked. Now, you know how this works usually? Like, you give it to someone else and lo and behold, they go, yeah, dude, just do this. And it comes like completely unjammed. Maybe that does happen. I'm going to take it back to Gunnies, the great American gun store, who loaned me this gun. Thank you, Gunnies. Awesome. Thank you, Federal, for some boxes of ammunition in conjunction with Gunnies. Awesome. The rest I shot out of stash. Spent, I don't know,
Look at that.
a couple $100 on ammo at least on this SCR before it died. So, dude, it is down. The gun is down. Which is surprising that, because some guys say, well, if it went that hard down, how can you give it a positive review? Well, that is actually a fair question. It is. Because you could say, well, if it goes that hard down on you, you're dead in a firefight. True or false? True.
I can't even.
Definitely true. Because like I say, I cannot bring it back into action at all. I mean, you know, I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. I actually bent the charging handle, dude, hammering it out in the field. Why? Because we want to get it back up. We want a positive test. And I've never seen it, a gun, an AR-15 style gun. And granted, that really is what this is. It's kind of a sport configuration, state compliant AR is what the SCR is. For guys who live in states where you can have AR-15s with features at least. Completely locked up. I would laugh right now if I pulled this and the thing ejected. After all my work I've done on it. That would be hilarious. And I would actually love this. I told Wyatt at Gunnies, like, hey dude, I broke that SCR like hard. He's like, oh, that's alright. I was like, so I'm probably going to have to buy this gun. This gun's just, we're just going to buy it. We broke it, we'll buy it. It is what it is. If we can repair it, awesome. If not, back to the question of how can you recommend it? Well, I'm kind of thinking it's the ammunition's fault. That's why. So, unknown quantity, I should say origin of ammunition. Had it been something I pulled out of a box like a Federal round, a PMC, Hornady, then I would be apt to say, oh my gosh, that went down with that ammo. But I don't know the origin of that ammo. So, could it have been weirdly sized or not sized at all and it created this problem? I'm going to give the SCR the benefit of the doubt. There's your answer. For everything else I saw, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. However, had it been inaccurate, had it been unpleasant to shoot, had it been unreliable, at least up to that point, I'd probably sink this thing in my review. There, that's the answer. So yeah, it's hard busted, unfortunately, but it's going to get a positive review. Well, again, let's back up a little bit. What's the purpose of the SCR? Well, again, state compliant. So there are some states where a sporting configuration semi-automatic rifle like this is legal. It's legal. But in other states, you know, if you have those military features, not legal.
I like it.
That's why.
I do too. Awesome.
You may be asking yourself too, hey, Nutnfancy, you said when it was running, it was pleasant to shoot. That is affirmative. Roger that. It was. It was accurate. Yes, we'll see that again. And we really had a great time with it. All of that's true. Maybe you're saying, would you buy it over an AR-15? No. No, heck no, I wouldn't. No last shot hold open, by the way. That's a bummer. I would not buy the SCR over an AR-15. How about the competition, which to me is the SU-16? Would I buy it over that? Now that, my friend, is a much more interesting question. Because you can get a compliant version of this one as well. This is an SU-16 CA, I believe. I do have a Phantom 5C2 on the end of it, which makes it a little bit more evil, which I like. By the way, this is Digicam coated in not Cerakote, but Duracoat. Years ago, I love that coloration. It's so cool. That is a much more interesting question. Between this, and I'm kind of working backwards in the talking points. I'll circle back around to that and give you my answer as I talk about the features and then more detail on how it's shot. But very interesting question. SU-16 versus a SCR. This, by the way, is a Gen 2 improvements over the Gen 1. It is model number 011KMT, which I think is right here on the stock of the SCR. Oh, there it is. Booyah. Let's look at this side for a second. My charging handle damage. I didn't mean to do that, but I didn't think it wouldn't eject. I mean, holy cow. I was like, oh, it's just, you know, stuck casing. We'll be able to pop this thing out, no problem. Pile drive it, nope. Smacking on the charging handle, nope. Scratched receiver when I did it. Standard wear and tear out in the desert. Dude, you want to talk about the curse of the desert? The SCR takes the cake.
Right. Like, I need that.
Doesn't it? This is the curse of the desert. Really came down hard on the SCR. It came down hard. Features of this gun. Well, it has a really thin barrel. It's 0.67 inches in diameter. I'm not a super fan of that. The very thin barrel on the SCR, the Raider carbine. 1-9 twist. I'm not a super fan of that.
No, thanks. I'm fine.
Wish it had a 1-7, 1-8 twist. It does have a TB on it though. That's good. It does make the overall platform very light at 5 pounds 14 ounces. Granted, we have for the most part a pencil barrel on it. Now, there's a lot of information out on pencil barrels. Hey, they don't really do much. There's really not that much deviation as the barrel warms up. I've always said I just have a thing for duration of fire, thicker barrel. That's what I've said. Not like, I don't need a match barrel on the SCR, but something along the lines of this one right here, the SU16. So you can see that is relatively thicker. Actually, substantially thicker than that one. Yet that gun there weighs the same weight. It's super light. Granted, that's a polymer framed gun. Uppers, polymer, lowers, polymer, stock. It's all polymer except the metallic parts, of course. Great handguard on this thing. Key mod if you care. Like the handguard on it. I believe it is proprietary. I could be wrong on that. I'm thinking if you could put an AR handguard on it. Not super sure. Not super sure. Actually, it might have... I think that is... bolt fits. Really nice handguard on it. Super trim. Key mod. I believe it is AR15 compatible if you want to change it out. Same barrel nut configuration. Love the handguard. I wouldn't swap it out. It's just fine. Long pick rail on the top. Again, trim. I love the trimness. 2 retention screws on the gas block there. I've always said I've never had a problem with that. I haven't. DI gun, of course. It's basically a hunting rifle AR-15. That's how I think of the SCR, really. Kind of a hunting rifle. I love this handguard on this variation of SCR. This would be my recommended variation, of course. Key mod, it's trim, pick rail on the top, secure attachment. It did not rotate or come loose during testing. Granted, the testing was abbreviated for obvious reasons.
To calm down.
I think, by the way, this does have an AR-15 barrel nut, and I think you could change out this handguard if you didn't like it. Not positive on that, though. The other variations I've seen have that very stubby polymer handguard. I don't really care for that one. It's too short, doesn't have a lot of grasping surface. I would much prefer this one on the SU16. It has a ton of grasping surface, and by the way, this is a bipod built into the Kel-Tec SU16. Go watch my reviews on that one, by the way. I have multiple reviews on the SU16, updates and stuff. But good handguard. I love it. Key mod. We have 2 retention screws on the gas block on this DI gun, of course. 70-75 forged upper. There's your forging mark on the SCR. Dust cover, which is closed right now, and I cannot really open it. Actually, I could. I could take the upper off, and I did pop it open with that. And like I mentioned before, I have taken it apart trying to get it working again, and it didn't work.
It was pretty beat up to begin with.
Standard charging handle. This one now is kaput. It will need replacement, and I think it is a standard AR-15 charging handle on that. Decent trigger on the SCR before it went down. I can't tell you what it pulls at, but I would probably guess around 5 pounds. Really nice trigger, actually. I think some people have complained about it, but Sean and I were out there shooting and going, hey, this trigger's decent. A little bit of mushiness, as I remember, but still a decent trigger. We're able to get, as you will see, good accuracy out of it. Integrated hand trigger guard is what I'm trying to say. And then you have a weird position on the crossbolt safety. That is odd. So it's going to be different because of the necessity of a sport configuration stock. Also, the magazine release when you're shooting is not an AR-15 position. It's a clear, tall reach up here, which is uncomfortable, and we complained about that in the field. We didn't like it. It takes some getting used to. But that's the price you pay when you have this style of buttstock, which is basically like an semi-automatic shotgun. The bolt carrier group has a pivoting arm, kind of like a semi-automatic shotgun, a rat tail, and it goes down into the stock. Again, just like any semi-auto shotgun. And before it went down, it worked great. Before it went down. Oh, it's so funny, man.
Tic-tac, sir?
Get the hell out of here.
It is a little bit different to put back together. And again, with this being in the configuration is and its status, I can't really demo it. But there are complaints about putting the SCR back together because it's just different. It's not an AR-15. And by the way, this trigger configuration and the trigger cannot be swapped out for an AR-15 trigger. Obviously, the pins are different. The configuration's completely different. Everything is different. It's proprietary. However, this lower fits any standard AR upper, I believe. You just swap out the BCGs, if you care. I mean, I don't really care. Some guys do. The quality inside on the proprietary SCR BCG bolt carry group is good from what I can gather. 4140 Carpenter 158 steel.
Describe it though. What makes it awesome?
Really good. So yeah, but it broke. I know. I love Monte Carlo stocks. I have no problems with them. And then you can take off that butt pad right there to get access for further disassembly. Again, I might find my photographs and roll them in. I think it's a comfortable gun, and really it's echoing what I said about the SU-16 because it's identical. As far as ergonomics, well, not identical, but it's similar. I mean, you have a crossbolt safety behind the trigger, same as you have in the SCR. You have a forward-mounted magazine release on the other side, same as in the SCR. Let's see the differences in placement, though. Yeah, see how the SU-16s is closer? I like this one better, and I put like some grip tape on it. So I only have to reach right here, but in SCR it's a long reach up here. So not identical, this one's better. But as far as the other form factor, Monte Carlo stocks, just standard rifle configuration, yeah, it's just like an SU-16. Says me. I think that's features of this Gen 2 sport configurable rifle. How did it shoot? I mentioned the dynamics. It was pleasant, fun to shoot. We absolutely loved it. It was super fun. I'm going to take my ace patch off and put on this one now, this sticker. Home of the free because of the brave. Thank you. All my veteran friends, TMP family members, awesome. I'm not lying though, when I said the SCR was super fun to shoot, it was. I mean, it was just a different gun to shoot. We're just laughing going, man, this thing is so smooth. It's fun to shoot, really fast follow-up shots, hardly any recoil at all. It really has its own shooting dynamic. It's different than the SU-16, which I do like shooting, just different. So we were impressed with that. Talked about the trigger already. And that brings us to accuracy of the SCR. Check this out. This is Gold Medal Match. Thank you, Gold Medal Match, for giving us an awesome group. Look at this. Dudes, Gold Medal Match. So that's MOA. That's not MOA. 69 grain here, 77's there. Razor Core, IWI Razor Core shooting there. Those are okay groups. They're not awesome. I've never seen 62 shoot that great. But man, that's one of my better groups. Remember, this is a 1-9 twist barrel. AE223, American Eagle. That's pretty good for ball ammo out of the SCR. PMC 55. I don't know what's going on with PMC, but lately the lots I've been shooting are garbage. They are so bad, and so this is one of the better groups I was able to obtain. 55, 55, Norma TAC 55. That's a horrible group. I forgot to circle that one. M193, that's about what you can expect out of that super hot load. Side ends with hot shot steel. I did shoot it with steel. It was reliable, but it jammed with brass once again. Federal American Eagle, 100% with steel, nice trigger, soft, smooth, low recoil. Just what I said. So I would call the accuracy bordering on excellent with a load it likes. If you feed it some really good ammunition, it'll shoot it pretty good. It's pretty amazing to me that out of a 1-9 twist, and this has happened before, that I get this type of group with 77s. Go figure. Seems like it'd like 55s better. Let's circle back to that question. Keltec SU-16 versus SCR. Which one would you buy, Nutnfancy? Well, I love the shooting characteristics of the SCR for sure, but this to me is more of an adaptable combat weapon. It's got last shot hold open. I do have that somewhat hokey bipod feature here, but it does work. I think my SU-16s have ran very well. They're usually very, very reliable. We have had a stoppage here and there for sure. They're lightweight. They fold in half. They're ultra affordable. A downside of the SU-16 would be, I think, the field strip. I think it's a pain because I have to take off my scope. That means I lose 0. That's a big downside of it. I don't know if they're a gun you'd want to run thousands and thousands of rounds through. It's not really meant for that. It's more of kind of a survival without rule of law application limited use weapon, the SU-16. And then another downside, it's a polymer upper. So you can get some, as this heats up, like in the desert, I have seen my SU-16s wander as this material has softened. I think Kel-Tec should really improve the upper polymer to where it's very thermally stable, a problem you won't have in the SCR. I think between the two, barely I would go with the SU-16 still, for the reasons I've said. Well, affordability is one of them too. The SU-16 is going to be a couple $100 less. This is going to run around $900, but the advantages, pretending it was still working, of the SCR is super lightweight, forged 7075 T6, Picatinny rail on the upper, very comfortable, soft shooting, accurate. I think more accurate than the SU-16 series, really. Threaded barrel, so you can put a can on it. You can put a muzzle device on it. And it's different. That's another plus, the SCR. I think it's a great gun. If you were to pose that question, SU-16 versus an SCR, to most of the audience members that will watch this video, I'm pretty sure, albeit this one's busted, sorry about that, ace patch come back into pad, I think most would choose the SCR. There's still some distrust against Kel-Tec products because of their poor quality control. Some batches of their guns are completely awesome, and some have all kinds of issues. They, to this day, still have quality control issues. Don't know why. Not my company. I don't run it. I'm not responsible for it, but it does happen. If you get a great Kel-Tec gun that has great quality levels, you're going to be super happy with it. But you'll run into a lot of people that didn't, and they're not super happy, and they've basically sworn off the brand after a couple purchases. That happens. I think most guys would say the SCR. So if you live in a regulated state behind the Iron Curtain where you cannot own a regular AR-15, the bottom line is this: the SCR is worth your consideration, bro. Worth your consideration. Besides, you know, its quirks notwithstanding, standard charging handle, not ideal. Awkward placement of the magazine release, not ideal. Pencil barrel, I don't think most guys will care about that at all. That's probably the, and no last shot hold open. Maybe that's the end of the list of the quirks. The stock I can take. This version with a slim handguard, awesome. Threaded barrel, awesome. It really impressed me, actually. It really did. And again, I know this one's busted. Weird review, I know. I think we're going to own up to us busting it with the ammunition we used in this. Yes, I'm giving it a pass. I'm giving it a pass because of the unknown origin of that ammunition. I think that's the fairest thing to do to SCR. Nutnfancy review complete. So that's a Patreon only video. The SCR, it definitely has some quirks. It does.
It's got a couple.
Lack of features that you have on an AR.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but man, is it fun to shoot.
Yeah.
It's just a really smooth, fun gun to shoot.
That's the no last shot hold open that you were talking
That's
about.
a bummer that it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the shorter one, bro.
Okay. Yeah, after shooting the last few that were, you guys said, a little bit disappointing. Yeah, we get into this thing and all of a sudden it's a breath of fresh air.
What did I tell you when I pulled that out of the case?
Oh yeah, you said you were going to love it. And
what did I tell you if you didn't like it, what I was going to do with you?
That's right, you said if I didn't like it, you're going to punch me in the face.
I did.
Yeah, so far no bruising.
Yeah, I said if you don't like this gun, something's wrong with you.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. Loving it so far. Yeah, let's try it out on a little
All right,
deal.
tear it up. Batteries run low, so if there's a awkward pause, you'll know what happened. Oh yeah. Fucking hammering it.
Turn this down a little bit.
Nice.
All right.
Sean brought his gong out today, so that's what we're shooting right there. Look at this day we have today too, dudes.
Yeah.
Woo! Beautiful day.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, dude, you're freaking hammering it. Would you buy that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would too.
Oh, totally. I mean, just for
It
fun.
just has a really interesting shooting dynamic. It's hard to explain to people how smooth it shoots.
Right.
You really have to shoot an SCR to appreciate it. Watching it on camera, you may go, well, why would you choose that over an AR-15?
Right.
Shoot it and then talk to me.
It is. It's yeah, something about it. It fits well. I think honestly that's what it comes down to for me. It's very comfortable. It feels like
A hunting rifle?
Sorry?
A hunting rifle?
Yeah, it's kind of like a hunting rifle. But honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with just it's lightweight, it tucks in nicely. It reminds you of shooting like a 22. I mean, honestly, it shoots as smooth, gentle, and it's just like a 22. It's like, hey, man, I just pick this thing up, head out, you know, hike out there, and
about the same recoil too, isn't it?
Very comfortable.
Can you imagine if we would have put a can on that? It'd be whispering death.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
Does it make you sad it doesn't have a last shot hold open?
Yes.
It does me too.
The last shot hold open, I definitely missed that. And the other thing I've noticed just in that first mag change is that you can't reach this.
That's correct.
So it's a shift your hand up, pop it out.
It's yeah, because your grip is way back here, not where it is with an AR-15.
You'd have to have some LeBron fingers to reach that thing.
There's some quirks there.
Yeah.
It ain't perfect.
Yeah. But
no gun is.
The rest of the rifle is great. So yeah,